Pilot training is also expensive in India. The whole package of it is very expensive. So,
Pilot training is expensive. It's not just expensive in India. It's expensive everywhere.
suppose I'm a student and I want to choose an FTO. So, why Redbird? Why should I choose Redbird?
I don't know why nobody paid attention to this, but it was not some rocket science that was involved. Why can't we bring modern equipment into India?
In 2023, DGCA had suspended Redbird's operations for a brief period of time, but Redbird, like always, was very quick with the audits and the improvements and getting back on track. So, how did you treat this challenge like, sir?
Well, it was a challenge, and anybody dealing with the aviation company would understand that aviation, you would always have such challenges.
Today's interaction is very special for me personally and the viewers out there as well. Today we are going to be interacting with one of the rarest voices in aviation who've seen aviation to the core, both from the flight deck as well as the core of operations.
He brings 25 years of aviation experience and about 12,000 flying hours to his name.
I have Captain Karan Mann. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, Vaishnavi. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Sir, it's actually an honor to have you here.
Same here.
Yes, sir. So, before we start with any of the questions regarding Redbird, Redbird is definitely India's and South Asia's largest pilot training organizations, and I've always heard great things about Redbird. But before we proceed on to interactions and conversations regarding Redbird, I would like to ask you something that's personal. How would you like to brief your experience as a student pilot to a captain to eventually establishing a flight training organization?
My aviation experience is about 31 years now. I did my first flight as a trainee pilot in April 1994.
That long.
So, on a Cessna 152 aeroplane. My aviation experience is actually around 31 years now, and about 12,000 hours on different types of aeroplanes, small, large, different airliners, 737, Airbus 310, Boeing 777, all variants, Boeing 787. And I've served in different capacities. I've worked as a co-pilot, I've served as a captain, I've been a line trainer on different aircraft, I've been a instructor, a TRI. Those days we used to have it on different types. I've been a D on various airline types. So yes, there's reasonable amount of aviation experience. About 6 years ago, we started this flying training organization called Redbird Flying Training Organization. So, as an airline pilot, and when because I've spent most of my airline career also involved with training. So, in the airline, most of the training is done on the simulators. Here, we fly real aeroplanes. So, there was a lot of gap between CPL cadets and what a trainer would like to see in an airline. There's reasonable amount of gap. So I did a survey of India. I practically traveled to every flying school in India, and what I noticed was that there's a lot of infrastructure that is lacking. There's modern equipment that is lacking. And a lot of students, in fact, most of the students go overseas for pilot training.
Yes.
There were very few organizations which were of a reasonable size. Mm-hmm. Usually the flying schools in India had only about 2, 3, 4 aeroplanes, and they had perpetual problems of fuel not being available, instructor not being available, aircraft spares not being available. And with 3, 4, 5 aeroplanes, how much, how many students can you, train? And most of the organizations I found were busy doing conversion training for, the overseas
Students
flying
coming
training
from-
organization. I don't know why nobody paid attention to this, but it was not some rocket science that was involved. Why can't we bring modern equipment into India? So, most of the organizations were using aeroplanes, which is still the most popular trainer, the Cessna 152. The production of Cessna 152 as per Google, Wikipedia and all, stopped in 1983 or 84, I think. So the youngest Cessna 152 being operated today is at least 42 years old. Unfortunately, that's the reality. A lot has changed in terms of the airliners also that we fly today. Today's modern airliner like a Boeing 787 or a Airbus 320 or a Boeing 787 is very different from the kind of airliners that existed about 20-25 years back. The technology has completely changed. Probably you were born around this technology. But, when I was a child, we used to have a dial phone.
Yes.
But today we've got this. It's very different now. So we cannot still exist in that technology. Now,
Yeah,
if I want to teach you how to use this mobile phone, I can't go to a dial phone and help you imagine this.
Yes.
Correct. So, keeping that in mind, we bought the most modern equipment. We invested in the simulator, a large simulator where you can conduct airline training as well. So the gap between the airliner and a flying training aircraft gets covered using that simulator device. Now, the aeroplanes that we bought, we tried to have the instrumentation in those aeroplanes which is very similar to that used on the larger aeroplanes. So the fleet is fairly modern. Like you said about expansion, getting more aeroplanes,
Yes,
etc.
yes.
Well, there's a factory out there that makes aeroplanes. So we have to pay the factory, get the new aeroplane in India. The rules and regulations about getting an aeroplane in India are clearly mentioned on DGCA website. So I don't honestly know why nobody was doing that. And then
So a lot into establishment of Redbird itself goes into bridging that problem, the main problem that was out there. Like you mentioned, that people did not even notice that it could have been done directly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, there were good organizations also that existed even before Redbird started. But then they were limited by, capacity. We have a population of about 130 crores. The country has huge potential. I'm not saying that before Redbird existed, there were no other good organizations. There were a few good organizations as well. But then, there's only so many people that could train there.
Yes.
Where would the rest of the people go? The rest of the people would go overseas. And what would the smaller flying schools do? They would do their conversion training,
Yeah,
etc.
assistant
and the
conversion.
end of training, etc. That's it. Yeah. So it was more like flying schools were working for overseas flying schools. Like a subsidiary of overseas flying school.
So everybody knows that you're the president of Redbird, but you were at one time a student pilot also. How was your first solo experience like?
Well, my first solo experience was great. My first solo was on 19th of January 1995. It was on a Pushpak aeroplane, which is extinct now. a tail dragger aeroplane. The registration was Victor Tango Delta November Hotel, with this VTDNH. And I remember each and every moment about that 15-minute solo circuit that I did.
You did.
Yeah, I remember. It was about 30 years back, but I still remember it like it happened 10 minutes back.
Yes, solos are always special.
Yeah.
So coming back to Redbird, I've heard that there are 12 new aircraft fleet that's coming, 4 new bases. So there is a lot of buzz about that.
There's a lot of work we're doing towards these 4 new bases. We've signed up with the government of Uttar Pradesh. The government of Uttar Pradesh has been very kind to us. We've been allocated 4 airports in Uttar Pradesh. And of course, to have aeroplanes in those 4 bases. The 12 aeroplanes is the first lot. Subsequently, there'll be another lot of 12 aeroplanes.
Wow, that's actually very interesting.
So we're talking to our prospective airline customers. We're trying to get their inputs. So the first lot of 12 aeroplanes should be on its way, and then we're looking at about 24 aeroplanes. That will be a decent fleet for these 4 new airports. Yeah.
So Redbird has 6 bases that are placed very strategically out there, and there's about 60 plus aircraft if we look at the current figures, the current stats.
Yes.
So how does the pilot demand in India, how has that influenced this growth, and how did you actually manage to do that? Because it is India's and South Asia's, like I mentioned before, the largest pilot training organization. This is actually a beautiful milestone that we've achieved. So, and in very little time.
Well, like I said, I personally do not focus on Redbird being the largest organization. We want to focus more towards quality training, delivering training. It interestingly did not start with the idea of making Redbird the largest. It started with the problems that the industry usually faces.
Yes, that was the vision.
Yes. So now it's aviation. As a human, God never wanted us to fly. If God wanted us to fly, then like birds, God would have given us wings. So so we're doing something that nature did not want us to do. As humans, we've evolved. We've got a lot of brains, so we've developed something which can make us fly. All right. So the moment you start flying, you're doing something nature never wanted us to do. God wanted us to walk on the earth. That's why God gave us feet. If God wanted us to fly, God would have given us wings. All right. So having said that, there's always certain amount of risk involved when you're doing something which is not natural. All right. Having said that, it's much more safer than your road transportation, etc. There's a lot of challenges in aviation which have happened, which will keep happening. So the idea of having multiple bases was that if there's some problem, or we cannot fly from one base due to some problem or the other, we can always shift to another base.
Yeah.
So
how are these mid?
So I'll get to that now. Weather is a big factor.
Yeah.
That really affects the time that is taken to deliver training. Weather plays a significant factor. So also there are external challenges. So now they're all placed in a certain way that if the weather is not good at this base, the weather is probably good at another base. Now we operate from 3 controlled aerodromes. Those are beautiful, wonderful aerodromes. But there's a lot of commercial traffic also that operates from those aerodromes.
Yes.
So one that gives our student a chance to fly with the airliners, something that they would do in the future. it gives them a chance to experience, the modern, utilize the instrument landing system, the VOR, maybe carry out a RNP approach, etc. Use all the facilities at the airport, fly with the airliners, talk to the ATC when Indigo captain is also talking to the ATC at the same time. So, yes, but then whenever there's an airliner flying and a trainer aircraft flying, the scheduled traffic gets priority. So you can only fly so much. So we have bases at uncontrolled aerodromes as well, where there is no other commercial traffic. So a lot of learning can be done over there. A lot of experience can be gathered over there. So there was a dispute between Maharashtra government and the airport Baramati where we're sitting. There were certain reasons, so we had to get into a new agreement with the government, which I understand is a process. So because of that process, the base was shut down for some time. But that we did not let the trainees suffer a lot. The trainees were asked to move to a different base. Now imagine having an organization where you have only one base.
Yeah.
So with that one base shutting down, everything shuts down.
Yes, very true.
So yes, the transfers internally keep happening. Like in a week from now, a lot of trainee pilots would be going to Belgavi or Gulbarga, Kalburgi, that is, for their instrument tests, IR tests. Because we cannot conduct IR tests at Baramati airport. There's no instrument landing system, there's no VOR. So yes, I personally encourage the trainee pilots to fly at all the bases. Get some experience flying in the northeast. Get some experience flying at controlled aerodrome. Get some experience flying at a uncontrolled aerodrome. So yes,
a very holistic learning process.
Absolutely. So I do understand sometimes the students do not want to leave a base. And when I interact with them, when I ask them what is the reason, so they're very comfortable with the city. They're very comfortable. They've some of them have taken up their own apartment. They've paid lease for the apartment, or somebody has their parents staying there. So when I interact with them, I tell them that you'll be operating from different airports all your life.
Yes.
Just now you're a trainee pilot. You're not. This is pilot training. You're not doing a engineering course where you've gone to one city. You'll finish your entire course and pass out, and because then probably you will go and work in a company which will stay there in that city.
You're never at one place if
you're a pilot. You'll never be at one place. Yeah. So I personally, when I interact with the students, I encourage them to move around. And in fact, the students who've actually shifted bases have always managed to finish their training well before the other cadets who stuck to one base. The monsoon is set in. So for the next few weeks, because of the weather, there will not be good amount of flying that can happen out of Belgavi. Yeah. But then somebody's got a house in Belgavi. I don't want to move out of Belgavi. Okay, fine. We probably will fly more after monsoons get over.
In 2023, DGCA had suspended Redbird's operations for a brief period of time, but Redbird, like always, was very quick with the audits and the improvements and getting back on track. So how did you treat this challenge like, sir?
Well, it was a challenge, and anybody dealing with the aviation company would understand that aviation, you would always have such challenges. We took up the challenge. We faced audits. We had to go through a lot of scrutiny. This gave us an opportunity to improve upon our processes. This gave us an opportunity to build a robust flight safety system. And yes, we've been operational since then. It was a challenge. Yes, it was a challenge. Yeah, but we take it in a positive way. Yeah, and we've been in the green ever since. Yeah.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I've also been hearing a lot about the Tecnam P2010, and I was wondering if you could let the viewers have a look at it.
Well,
I mean,
Tecnam P2010 is a wonderful machine. I want to talk about P2010, but I personally am not very comfortable sitting here and talking about the P2010. So I don't know how you would take your camera, mic. I don't know if they'll work outside, but I can take you to the ramp and I can show you the P2010.
Definitely.
That's in case it's not flying; it's on ground. I'll take you and I'll show you the aeroplane.
Let's go have a look, sir.
Yeah. So we can get a break now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is Baramati, and that is the Tecnam 2008 aircraft. It's just come back from a training sortie. The rest of the aeroplanes are flying. I don't know if your camera would be able to capture. There's some aeroplanes in the air. There's one on short finals. I don't know if you can see the light.
Yes, I can see that.
Of that aeroplane. So this type here, VT RFK, this is by far the most modern trainer. It was the design was conceived in I think 2022, and 2023 is the first time this aeroplane got certified, and it's been flying ever since. This is by far the most modern trainer aeroplane.
Okay.
Another very good aeroplane, since you were excited about the Tecnam 2010. Luckily, we have one plane which is on ground just now. So I'll just walk you towards this aeroplane.
Sir, since we have to go there and it'll take some time, there was one question that I wanted to ask you. Is Redbird has an official partnership with Airbus and offers students the A320 type rating. How do you think this prepares and facilitates the students' pilot training for the real aviation industry?
I'll answer that question. Meanwhile, that's another Tecnam 2008 which has just come back from a training sortie. You'll go find one of the parking slots. There's a marshaller over there waiting for to guide that aeroplane in. Yes, now coming back to your Airbus 320, yes, we have a training partnership with Airbus industry, and I guess it will be fair to say that the ones who built the aeroplane, they know the best how to train pilots on that aeroplane. So hence, so we always wanted the best for our cadets. So we have this training partnership with Airbus industry, where once they finish their CPL training, they go through a bridge course at Redbird, which does some basic airline training, and then the cadets are sent to Airbus training center, which is an Airbus owned and operated training center for Airbus 320 type training.
I actually had a visit to one of the fixed base simulators and I spoke to one of the instructors out there.
Okay.
So I had a great time interacting with him.
So this is the Tecnam 2010 aeroplane. If you want to take a look at it, and this is the aeroplane. And Vaishnavi, let me make you sit in the aeroplane.
Definitely, sir.
Come. So you could get in. Just put one foot here.
I put my foot here.
Yeah, on the step.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll try to get in from the other side.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Vaishnavi, this is the P2010. Again, why it's called the P2010 is because the aeroplane was conceptualized in 2010.
Okay.
Okay, 2010. All right, and it, I think, first flew in 2017 or 18. All right, this particular aircraft is a couple of months old. It first flew here at Redbird. It's a brand new aircraft. It first flew here, I think, a couple of months back, 2 or 3 months back maybe. So what I'll do is, the airplane would look boring like this. I'll switch on the masters. Before that we see everything around is clear. So here is the master switch. All right. So you can take a look at the instrumentation. This particular aircraft is again operated, the systems on this airplane are all computerized.
Okay.
You know, it has a fully functional autopilot. It's a fairly modern aeroplane. I think the instruments, since when you switch on the aeroplane, the computers undergo certain checks and all, and that's when it comes alive. So everything regarding the engine of this aeroplane, all information is always available to the pilot. There's various computers inside this aeroplane that work on the systems.
Yes.
You use these control surfaces to control these aeroplanes. This is the elevator. So this is the instrument system on these aeroplanes. So the aeroplane gathers information from various sensors and displays it to the pilot here on these screens. This represents the display of what you would see outside. So sometimes you have to fly the aeroplane looking inside. So this is a display of what you see outside. Okay. This here, right now we are stationary, so it's not reading. But as you start moving forward, is your airspeed indicator. This is your the altimeter. So right now, since Baramati is 1960 feet above mean sea level.
Okay. That is what is.
So that is what it is showing here. These, of course, once the aircraft is flying, this display would come on. This is a map display. So this is where we are. This is the airplane. These are. If I reduce the range, here you could see other features. The nearby cities. If we reduce it further, so you could see VAPO. This is Pune.
Are these code names?
Yeah, these are code names for different airports. So each time where you're heading. This is Aurangabad. What you see here plus 60 is some aeroplane which is 6,000 feet above us.
Okay.
All right, and I don't know if you can focus on the outside, you'll probably be able to see that aeroplane outside. This is one aeroplane which is 6,000 feet above us, heading in this direction. Yeah. And right now, if you look at this small arrow, it shows plus 58, 57 and down. So this is an aeroplane. This aeroplane is now descending. It's probably returning back from its training sortie, and finally it will come back and land here.
So moving on, can we proceed here only with some of the questions that I want to ask you, or shall we go?
Yes, no, we could do it here. I am very comfortable sitting in the aeroplane rather than that room.
Yes, sir. So we can go on here only. Redbird currently has about 500 cadets. There are 4 new bases coming up, so about 10 bases and 60 plus aircraft. What is your vision in the years to come, like the next 5 years?
So Redbird is, we have Redbird in India, Redbird in Sri Lanka. So the Redbird in India has, close to about 400 cadets right now, and we want to make sure that they get good training, and then they fly in the airlines and do well in their life.
Yes. Yeah. So there's also a very negative impression regarding cadets that flying training takes a lot of time. The whole training is a very lengthy procedure. So how is Redbird making a difference here in comparison to other FTOs out there?
Well, Redbird is making a difference by constantly evolving and constantly trying to make sure that the same does not happen at Redbird as well, like it has been happening elsewhere. We try to reduce the disruptions to minimum. Having multiple bases is another good point that we have. Like recently we had disruption for some time at Baramati airport, but we did not want to the cadets to lose on time because of the disruption. So the team immediately within a week moved most of the cadets, most of the aeroplanes to Belgavi, Sivni and Gulbarga. Because of weather, we could not move aeroplanes and cadets to Leelabari, but that's what we did, and we could minimize the delay. Finally, once again, the disruption's over. We're flying
it's
Baramati, and life is wonderful.
Pilot training is also, very expensive in India. The whole package of it is very expensive. So, what role does Redbird play here? What are the scholarship, any aids that we provide to the students out there?
Well, I would agree that pilot training is expensive. I do agree to that. But pilot training is expensive. It's not just expensive in India. It's expensive everywhere. Some of the flying schools, it's actually way more cheaper than doing your flying training in America or Canada. I do understand it's probably more expensive than some countries like South Africa. But then, you could fly anywhere on the planet. You could fly in America, South America, Africa, anywhere. But to fly an Indian aeroplane, you would eventually have to come back to Indian flying school and do your conversion training. At Redbird, we do not do conversion training now, since we've not enrolled anybody for conversion training since 1st of January 2025. But yes, I've heard stories of people struggling with conversion, flying schools charging a lot of money for conversion. If you look at in terms of expenses, it's as expensive, or in fact cheaper, to do your flying training in India. Certain flight schools promote training overseas at a much cheaper rate. But I would suggest that talk to the candidate who's done his training, his or her training, and come back and ask them how much money they eventually ended up spending. In terms of scholarship, we do sometimes have some scholarship programs at Redbird. Interestingly, 26th of June.
Yes, it's the
26th of June is once again our 5th year anniversary. If you look at our Instagram, every year on our anniversary, we've had a special anniversary batch where we've given certain advantages to students at the anniversary batch. Also, the government really supports the flying cadets. Some of the banks give collateral-free student loans, and you pay only once you get employed. There's this bank, I think it's the PNB bank, that offers good student loan and all, and you start paying 3 years after you get the student loan, and they offer collateral free loans. This is the Government of India scheme. Of course, the Government of India schemes would not be applicable on overseas flying schools, but yes, in India, the government is really encouraging everyone, and these are beautiful, wonderful schemes. So if you talk to some of the candidates who enrolled under those schemes, they end up paying much less.
Okay.
And you only pay back once you're employed.
Yes. So that's actually
so it actually does not hurt your family, or it sounds expensive, but actually it's not so expensive.
Yes. There's a way out that people
absolutely.
So when you mentioned about government, there's a base that has opened at Belgavi in tie-ups with the government. So how are such regional hubs helpful?
So it's not just Belgavi. In fact, Belgavi, North Lakhimpur, Lilabari, and Kalburgi, which is called Gulbarga also. These are airports where the central government facilitated, opening of these bases under the Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme.
Okay.
Yeah. So which helps us reducing the training costs, getting our trainees wonderful experience. So yes, it's not just Belgavi which is under the government scheme. It's by Belgavi, Kalburgi, and Lilabari.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are 3 bases.
There are 3 bases under the Prime Minister's Atmanirbhar Bharat scheme.
Okay. All right, sir.
Yeah.
And my last question to you is, this is going to be pretty interesting. So in under 30 seconds, can you give me a pitch? Suppose I'm a student and I want to choose an FTO. So why Redbird? Why should I choose Redbird? Please give us a pitch.
Well, most modern equipment, multiple bases, multiple number of aeroplanes, recovery from disruptions, training time, cost, employability. बस मेरा खत्म हो गया.
Yes, sir. And I think that was perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I've never done it in my life. This is the first time I did this. You know, the first time I've worn a camera, collar, something.
mic.
Yeah. I hope I looked okay doing all
So
this.
you were perfect. In fact, even I was nervous, and this was very special, honestly. So thank you so much for giving me your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
And if our viewers have any doubts, any queries, please raise them below in the comments. Okay? And we'll see you again later. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you.